project, I want to show you how to design a multi-story house in Archicad. So if you are ready, let's get started. This video is going to be the first part of what I am calling multi-story house design in Archicad, and I'll be showing you how to do the grid lines, how to do the columns, the ground slab, how to do walls, and finally how to do doors and windows for the ground floor. And when we are done with ground floor, we will have covered our first part of the tutorial, and then the other part of the tutorial will cover how to do everything that pertains to the first floor. So if you are ready, let's get started. Step number 1 is to do the grid lines, and I think I will show you how to do it. Let me activate my grid lines here under more design elements. Click on grid element tool to have it activated, and then you can go to the settings dialog, and if there is anything you want to change on the type of line you want to use for the grid lines, you can change. If you want to change the color, you can change. If you want to change anything here, you can change, and after you are done, we can start drawing our grid lines. So this will be my first grid line here, and then I will copy it, drag a copy, now place it 3 meters. I will have another one, drag a copy, I'll place it at 1800, and the rest which are 2, I'll place them 3 meters apart. So I'll drag a copy 3 meters, I'll drag another copy, meters. Now for me to verify the distances, I'll use my dimensions. Let me set how I want the dimensions to look like. Activate this. I want to choose Century Gothic, my style, and this to be 3 millimeter, and this color to be this one. That's okay. Click OK. So this so that's okay, and you can change. If this is A, this should be B, this is C, D, E. Now holding the shift button, you click on that grid element, and then up here there is a custom name. You can change that to B, or else you can go to the settings dialog box here, and you will be able to change it under the naming rules. and click OK, and you see that one changing. So do the same to the other grid lines. That is C. This grid line is grid line D, and this is E. And that's it. We are done with the horizontal grid lines, and I want to start placing the vertical grids. So just draw one here, then I can copy and paste. So I'll give you the dimensions, so don't worry, I will do everything, give you the dimensions, then you can, from the dimensions you can follow and place your grids. So let's go. So that's it. And then the naming for the vertical grids, I'll start with number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And I'll be okay with that. So I'll put this as number 1. Now after that, I'll go back to dimensions and then give you the dimensions for these spacings. That's it. So you can copy that, and then after you are done, move on with the next step. So those are the dimensions, and after doing the grid, the next step is placing our columns, and what the grid lines are going to help us with is we are going to place our columns at the intersection of both the horizontal grid and the vertical grid. So for now, I will go to design, then under design there is the column tool. Click on the column tool, then I go to the columns settings dialog, and there I can choose whether I want to use, what type of a column I want to use in the dimensions. Like here I want to use a column that is 200 by 200 millimeter, and activate this. I click OK. So I'll place one column here, I'll place another one here, another one there, another one here. So please follow along. Make sure you observe the points that I have put my columns, so that you can have the same thing that I have done. And then for these columns that are aligned with the grid B, I want to select all of them and change their cross section. I want to use them as a, go to settings and select this one, circular profile, and click OK. I think I will have those, and then let me leave these ones as square sections. Okay, and now that we've done our columns, it's okay. We can go to the 3D view and see how our structure looks like. So I'll click here, and after it has opened, I'll press the O button on the keyboard to activate orbit on 3D. Then using my mouse, I can be able to pan to orbit around and see. These are the columns that we have created. You can see the columns, you can see the grids, and that's how it looks like. And then I'll go back to my ground floor, and having done the columns, that means we've done step number 2, and step number 3 is to draw our walls. And so I'll go to design tools and activate wall, and then I'll go to the settings dialog here for the wall. Make sure this is selected, and then for the thickness choose 200 millimeter and click OK. And then here, reference line in location, I want this reference line to be at the center so that I can start drawing my walls now. So follow along. Let me create an opening there, and then have one column here, another column here, and then go back to wall tool, create a wall there, and that's good. And then after that, how does it look in 3D? Go to 3D view. This is our what we've created, and then I'll label the rooms. So I'll look for documenting tools, and go to text, and then I can double click on that space and then type room 01, sorry, and here I'll type store, and here I'll type room 02. I can adjust the text, move it to center that way. And so we have created our walls, and the next thing is we want to have a slab for a building. Now slab is under design tools, so this is slab activated. Then go to settings dialog and make the thickness of the slab to be 150 millimeter and click OK. Then you can choose the first geometry method and start drawing your slab outline like this. Please follow along as I show you how to do it. click on this one to complete. So we have the slab outline created, and after I have done every building element, you see I'm always switching to the 3D view so that I can look at how that element looks in 3D. And I'll do the same to my slab. I'll go to 3D, and that is the slab that we've created. And so the next thing after creating the slab and the walls is the building has to have some openings, and the openings include windows and doors, and we'll create doors and windows for this building. And let me start with the doors. So I'll go to design tools and activate the door tool, and go to the settings dialog and do a few settings for the door. These dimensions are okay. I want to change the type of door leaf to style number 34, which is my favorite, and put an handle number, let me use number 6, and click on OK. Then I'll place my doors like that, opening to the inside. Place my door to the inside, then the door to the store, opening to the outside. And after placing my doors, the next step is to create windows so that we can allow daylight to penetrate into the building. And I'll go to design tools, activate the window tool, go to the window settings dialog, and put this sill to story height as 750 millimeter, then this height as 1350 millimeter, and then I'll put this as the width as 1850, and a few settings here. Under basic window settings, I want a fixed search window, and the type of search or the search options that are available, I will use HV grid. So leave everything as it is here and click OK. And so I will place one window here, another window here, I will have another window here, here, and one for my store. I'll change the size for the store to be 1200. That's okay. So now we have created, or we are now through with the designing our ground floor. And before we close this session, I want us to dimension the openings and dimension the walls. So go back to document and then dimension tool, so you can start dimensioning. I'm doing this so that, because I'm building this from scratch, you can be able to see the dimensions that I'm using, and then when you're doing your project you can either copy them or you can use your own measurements. So I'll just place this one here. This is it. Let me dimension these walls. Place this here, and that's the basics. That's how to put the dimensions, and we are through with our part 1 of multi-story house design in Archicad. I hope you've learned something and you've picked some skill, and you will continue practicing. And by the time I am coming back to show you how to do the first floor, I hope you will have learned something and practiced and will be going at the same speed. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be uploading some other videos and it will be awesome. Thank you.